In our latest report from the Russian invasion, Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin slipped into Ukraine for a wartime meeting with President Volodymyr Zelensky. They are giving more than $700 million in aid for weapons for Ukraine, as well as restoring the U.S. diplomatic presence inside Ukraine. The U.S. Secretary of Defense says this package is meant to weaken Russia so they can no longer invade other countries. Just hours after secretaries had left the country, there was a strike on a railway station in the western city of Lviv. Many Coloradans have donated time and money for the people of Ukraine, but not many have traveled to the war zone themselves. Just 2 months ago, Aiden Sinclair was performing as a magician at the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park. Today, he spoke to Rob Harris just after crossing the border from Ukraine.
Before working as a magician in Estes Park, Aiden Sinclair was a Marine. But he says this war is different than any he's ever witnessed, and he couldn't just watch it on TV. He had to jump in and help.
Every atrocity that happens, they get more defiant.
Safe in his hotel room in Warsaw, Poland, Aiden Sinclair describes the devastation he saw firsthand as he delivered medical supplies and body armor to the front lines in Ukraine.
Just homes and businesses completely destroyed. People still recovering, the bodies of loved ones. Every bridge and intersection you go through has got sandbags and bunkers and guards, and it's a scary place.
Seeing it in person has given it a new weight for Sinclair. But from the second he saw the raid begin on TV and social media, he says he knew he had to step in and help.
I think as Americans, we don't like bullies. It was just such a blatant act of aggression and such a blatant act of, violence, that you can't not be upset about it. You can't not want to take action.
For Sinclair, taking action meant donating every penny his magic show brought in, and even maxing out his credit cards to buy armor and aid. Then he packed it all and trekked it to Ukraine personally on now 2 separate trips.
The first trip over, I think it came down to about 3 bags, a big rucksack and 2 bags that I could, roll. The big difference was this time I was carrying by myself 600 pounds worth of gear. So moving everything got a lot more complicated.
His background as a Marine has certainly helped him navigate the war zone in Ukraine, but his skills at magic have come in handy too.
On the train back, with the refugees, it certainly got some children to calm down a little bit. I don't generally work for kids, but a deck of cards can go a long way sometimes. Give somebody a sense of wonder for a few moments is kind of important, I think.
Rob Harris reporting. Sinclair is starting to plan his next trip back to Ukraine. He says he can't sit on the sidelines while Ukrainians are fighting to be free. We put so